Hello, everyone. Welcome to this fifth episode in our series on Vedic philosophy, finding meaning and purpose in our daily life. In the first four segments, we have outlined that according to Vedic philosophy, the universe exists as material objects, living objects like plants and animals, as human beings with our emotions and ability to think and reason. All these are enabled. They are all part of nature. The enabler is also nature and all the phenomena of nature. This self-evident truth is codified in Vedic philosophy as everything is Brahman, Sarvam Brahmamayam. Since we are enabled by our consciousness, Vedic philosophy also states that Prajnanam Brahma, consciousness is Brahman. This unlimited view of the mind, where we see ourselves limitlessly as part of nature and without any division, is spirituality. Enlightened living is a spiritual mind. One can be spiritual in our thoughts and in our actions. Enlightened living can be for a moment in any activity or a lifelong way of living. Enlightened living brings with it freedom to our mind, a liberation where we can live free from daily ups and downs, waves of duality, or constantly changing experiences or divisions such as love, hate, like, dislike, rich, poor, etc., gradually disappear or subtle and subside in a spiritual mind. It is a hallmark of enlightened living. In this episode, we shall look at a few simple tools from Vedic philosophy to learn ways to cultivate our spiritual mind for enlightened living. Let us return to our coin and with two sides, the analogy we have discussed before. One side of the coin is the world full of activities. We know this very well. We are immersed in this world all the time. We are in this world of activities. I or any individual is a subject. I am identified with my name, parents, family, nation, religion, gender, etc. All these are attached to me and isolate me as an individual. I'm subjective and attached through my physical body, my biological features and capabilities, my emotions, and yes, even my thoughts and reasoning. With all these parts and details, there are infinite combinations. I represent one such combination at a given moment. Hence, I am different from moment to moment, from birth to death. My thoughts and feelings and emotions change constantly. I am subjective. I live the life of an individual, subjective and attached to all that I know or relate to. If I look at myself from the other side of the coin, the enabler, all the perceived differences, all the differences that enabled me as an individual, different from others, disappear instantly. I may be an individual, but I exist as part of nature. I'm a human being like everyone else. I eat, breathe, sleep, participate in life, and grow old just like anyone else on this earth. The sun that shines on me, the water I drink, the air I breathe are all the same as that for anyone else. I am part of nature, which enables all that exists. I am conscious, as seen through my body, mind, and intellect. I am aware of my existence as an integral part of nature. Vedic philosophy proclaims this self-evident truth as I exist as Brahman or Aham Brahmasmi. The force of nature always behave the same way all the time. The wind moves things in its path. The fire burns objects in its presence. Electric charges travel across two poles, always creating a spark. It may be a small flash on my doorknob or a huge lightning with thunder in the dark clouds up in the sky. Everything on Earth is held in check by gravity. The entire planet revolves constantly by itself and also around the sun. The forces of nature do not make any distinction. They are always objective. They are also unattached. As an individual, you may be doing 100 different things, but your heart beats and the lungs breathe on their own accord, always subjective and unattached to your preferences, motives, and attachment. With a revolved mind, we can see the role of nature, the enabler, the inner self, leading to the enabled or I, the individual. This deep internal view of our connection with the self and to use that to engage in our actions is called self-control or yoga. Sustained engagement of our thoughts, emotions, and actions in alliance with nature and the way the laws of nature behaves is spirituality in practice. It is self-control or yoga. It leads to living the way the nature exists, with objectivity and non-attachment. We shall look into yoga as a tool to manage our life, enable behavior in detail in our future video segments. Spiritual mind, to see ourselves as an undivided part of nature, is not natural to us. It's a challenge. This challenge is also a part of nature. Conditioned by our mind and its thinking, we believe that we are different from others, different from nature. Objects like stone and minerals or plants or animals do not have a need to see this undivided existence with nature. They merely exist as part of nature. But thanks to our evolved mind, the gift of nature, we have this relentless need to constantly remind ourselves and to train our mind to learn about the enabler, the nature and its laws as the driver in everything, including our individual self, or what we call as I and my life. Take, for example, our fear of birth and death. Where does this fear come from? We plant corn seeds, they germinate and grow into a corn plant. As the season progresses, the corn plant yields more corn ears, each with many more kernels of corn. We harvest and use the corn grain. The corn plant perishes at the end of the season. We recycle the stock. As the next season comes, the planting begins again. As human beings, we're also born, grow up through childhood, we learn new skills, become responsible for our family. As we age, we retire or withdraw from active living. And in the end, our heart stops beating. We call this as the death of or end of life. What is the difference in the life cycle of a corn plant and of a human life, proclaims Vedic philosophy. Upanishads are philosophic treatises contained within Vedic scriptures. Kathopanishad is one among the major Upanishads. Corn plant germinates, grows, yields more corn, and then decays. People are also born as part of nature, grow up, lead a family life, contribute to society, grow old, and perish, states Kathopanishad. God is not mindful of birth and death. Why are we obsessed with birth and death and the fear of it? As Vedic philosophy, it concludes that all such worries and fears are creations of our mind or matter or the material aspects of life. The point of view that everything is part of nature brings forth a remarkable, expanded, and inclusive view of our mind. Let us conduct a thought experiment for a few seconds. Imagine someone, anyone in this large crowd of people. The person may be close to you, like a friend, parent, child, or family member, or a total stranger of whom you may had merely a fleeting glance. Every such person is born at some time, just like you. That person is born to parents, just like you. Everyone goes through the stages of life, just like you, me, or anyone else. They have needs and aspirations. They have joy, pain, and suffering like every other person in the crowd. If we let our mind be free and not become constrained by anything, our mind will see ourselves in every other person in this large crowd. One who thinks I am different from others perceives birth and death as unique and unto himself. One who sees his identity with the enabler, Brahman, sees birth and death as part of nature and hence attains immortality, proclaims Kathopanishad. Vedic philosophy contains many examples in its sustained effort to teach us one basic principle. Spiritual mind and spiritual thinking evolves when we learn to see the enabler in everything and all that exists as the enabled. Here are a few examples. We've already seen the deep ocean and the various kinds of waves that are enabled by the deep ocean. The waves are visible to us. The waves are there only because of the ocean underneath. In our life, there's so much that happens moment to moment, day to day, and as part and as parcel of the course of life. There is so much that happens while they appear unique and different. If we step back and look at them objectively and without attachment, we begin to see a pattern, a common framework, similar cause and effect. To reflect and perceive this underlying commonality, the driving forces, the spirit, is a unique skill. It is our spiritual mind. Another example, often quoted in Vedic philosophy, is a drop of water in a pool of water. Clearly, they cannot be distinguished unless you isolate one drop and place it in your palm. Even this isolated drop, like an individual, cannot be sustained for a long time. Our thoughts, special feelings for people and things, and our attachments disappear when our mind begins to focus on the larger context, the body of water, instead of being limited with subjectivity and attachment like a droplet of water. In a well-known prayer song from Vedic scriptures, we hear the following. May this water that I offer in worship be seen as a confluence of water from all known holy rivers of India, Ganga, Yamuna, Godavari, Saraswati, Narmada, Sindhu, and Kaveri. Just as the water in all rivers are one and the same, may I learn to look at the world around me undivided, one and the same. Individually, each one of these gold ornaments may be different, belong to different people, are made of different shapes and sizes. But the gold in the gold biscuits and the gold ornament, of which the gold in the ornament, of which the ornament is made of, are one and the same. In other words, the gold in the ornament and in the gold in the biscuit are the same. Another example is the pot and the clay that it's made of. The clay in the pot and the clay used to make it are one and the same. Learning to see the common framework in our mind across all that which appears different for the sight is a wisdom to be derived from Vedic philosophy. While we may see the world as different and divided, the basis, foundation, or the driving force for all is the same. Cultivating a spiritual mind sees the enabled as an integral part of the enabler. It's a very practical tool from Vedic philosophy. One of the famous philosophers, Adi Shankara, reinforces this education through his prayer song. I am Brahman, the integral part of nature, common enabler for all that exists. I am not limited as an individual identified through my physical body, mind, and intellect. In Sanskrit, it is said as Tat Brahma Nishkalamaham Nacha Bhuta Sangaha. Tat Brahma Nishkalamaham Nacha Bhuta Sangaha. Now, we have also seen that to remain in union with the permanent enabler, the laws of nature, identified as Brahman in Vedic philosophy, is the spiritual outlook. Like the deep ocean, our spiritual mind is calm and contemplative. The spiritual mind brings forth peace and harmony. It is spiritual wellness. Vedic philosophy identifies this state of mind, this manner of living, as enlightened living, state of bliss or Anandamaya. Now, look at the world of activities, the waves on the ocean surface in some detail. We have a physical body composed of matter and biology. These create the material layer or the Annamaya, and living or biological layer, Pranamaya. Our physical well-being is determined by our physical fitness, health, diet, food we consume, as well as our social habits, hygiene, etc. They are largely connected with our economic well-being, as illustrated in the slide. Along with that comes our emotional well-being. This is also connected with our economic well-being. Our emotions are affected and change depending on the people around us. This includes family, friends, community, and culture, the way of life of the society of which we are part of. Every action starts with a thought. Thinking and ability to think is a unique feature of the human mind. Each thought can be positive or negative. Intellectual wellness influences our physical and emotional wellness. They together impact our ability to engage in our life, creating economic well-being and benefiting from it. This complex scheme is controlled by our mind as the enabled. The spiritual mind is objective and unattached. Our emotional and intellectual mind is subjective and attached. Our emotional mind and intellectual mind is subjective and attached to personal needs, bias, and preferences. The two sides always exist. The two sides coexist, bringing the connection between the spiritual mind with the thinking and emotional mind is enlightened living, as we learn from Vedic philosophy. What are the benefits of such enlightened living? How can we make every action in our life as an enlightened engagement? How can we use such an enlightened living to achieve liberation at any moment and any activity? These are some of the questions we shall explore in the future video segments. Thanks for watching.